Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda. Happy 12/12 portal. So we are opening a portal to the solstice, and there's a lot that's coming through regarding this portal date 12/12, connecting to 2012 as well. So closing out a particular cycle connected to that, and timelines collapsing, the greater illusion and distortion of time itself, and all of these other dynamics that are coming into play as we're working through and integrating so many powerful and profound upgrades that are happening through all the light codes. So let's get into it. So last night I was meditating and it was a little later, and I happened to pick up my phone kind of when I felt my meditation was complete and I saw 12/12/12. So I was like, okay, there's definitely significance to this date, but I'm also really being reminded at this time that time is an illusion, and that the Gregorian calendar 111 is not true organic time, that it's constructed and it's potentially distorted as well, and that a lot of our dates are not in alignment with organic consciousness, such as the new year starting in the middle of winter, the dead of winter. So all that said, this energy and this time is still really powerful and potent to be connecting with 144 on the timer because of this 12 frequency. 12 times 12 equals 144. So we have this double date energy, which thins the veils according to people who are into numerology. I speak on these dates myself a lot of the time. But what they're really calling us to do is to actually transcend time and to connect to the 0 point field, to connect to that sense of greater oneness, to unity consciousness, the eternal present, the eternal now moment, 222. I see a lot of aligned numbers. And that's what I really feel they're asking us to do, because what are we seeing in the external reality right now is so much chaos. We are literally living out the greatest show in the universe, and it really feels like this season of, this is like the season finale perhaps of America is like seriously delivering. It's like one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. And it's wild to witness, but people who are so kind of caught up in the illusion could potentially fall into fear, right? So we're being asked to recognize the illusion for what it is, the distortion for what it is, to recognize the corruption and remember that that too is an illusion that we are here to dismantle, that we are here to break down so that we can rebuild and anchor in the organic consciousness, Christ consciousness. So this definitely connects with the Christ energy. This is leading us into the winter solstice portal. So we have the mirror numbers going on there, the 12 and the 21. So today is opening up the winter solstice portal, and I really feel that this year it's extra amplified and potent with the solar consciousness streaming in, with all of the solar flares, with the Schumann Resonance spiking. We are getting upgraded and activated at a deep DNA level, and the 12 connects to the 12 strands of DNA, right? So this is a really potent, powerful time for people on the ascension and awakening path. There's also a lot of throat chakra upgrades going on. The video I shared yesterday actually talks about in more depth, so it kind of connects if you want to get into that, the season of alchemy that we're in. I discuss in a little bit more depth how Advent, which leads up to solstice and Christmas, how Advent and the constellation Ophiuchus, which is in galactic astrology, we would be in that season, not necessarily Sagittarius, right? So how they kind of work together to bring us into deep internal alchemy. This is really the dark time of the year, is a time to turn inward and to integrate. And that's what I've been experiencing. The first, from basically November 30th till yesterday, I've really been in a deep internal process of clearing and integrating. It looks like from a 3D perspective having a cold, but it started with a fever and stuff like that, but it was very connected to deeper work that I was doing, and all of the experiences that I had. There was absolute deep correlation with old programs and patterns related to my own journey and my own, past multidimensional reality lives, whatever you want to call it, as well as the greater collective. What we're clearing, the mother frequency of anchoring in this beauty and the immaculate purity of the mother that is being resurrected at this time. And now I'm seeing 555 on the timer. So it's this time of change and transition. So if we look back at the last 12 years, that 12-12-12 portal really would have initiated us into this transition period. And so what a lot of people are saying, or some people, I don't know a lot, some people are saying that because today is 12-12, it ends that 12-year cycle of the transition. And there's still going to be more transition, but that this is definitely a major timeline shift. And a lot of people are talking about timelines. Like, are you on the timeline where you're seeing the UFOs? Are you on the timeline where, how are people referring to it? The thing with that guy with the CEO in New York and all of that, right? And it's just like Gotham, they're calling it the Gotham timeline. And I'm like, they're all playing out all simultaneously, all at once, because I feel the timelines are collapsing and converging on into this 0 point where we then get to emerge into this field of oneness, that we get to embody that frequency of the eternal now, when we can allow all those timelines to simultaneously coexist, but also to collapse into that truth, that organic truth, because that is what we're dismantling, is the illusion and the chaos, right? And it doesn't mean that it's over for the collective, but for those of us who are on this path, it very much feels like the completion of a cycle. So 12 is completion. We will get into the numerology of 12 a little bit more deeply, but what I'm feeling is this ascension of Christ consciousness itself, if you will. So Yeshua, the Piscean age, he's connected with Pisces, the fish, right? He really seeded the blueprint for Christ consciousness, and now we are upgrading into the second coming of Christ, where it is we, the people. Aquarius is the age of we, right? So we are the ones anchoring in Christ consciousness through our vessels onto the planet, into the grid of Gaia herself. 818 there. So this is transitioning us from the age of the savior, the hierarchical, like top-down energy, into we the people. Now, if you want to look at this from the different astrological perspectives, we're actually only entering Pluto is entering Capricorn now from the different zodiac perspectives. So it's rebuilding the structures of New Earth. So it's both and, in my humble opinion. And, people might have different perspectives on that, and that's totally fine, but I feel both systems are valid. We are entering the age of Aquarius, and from like that higher soul level perspective, we're actually entering Capricorn, which is systems and structures being rebuilt. So I see that they can both coexist and both be real. What is the truth? Well, we're ascending into this higher truth, but as we do so, there will kind of be this multi-dimensional aspect to truth, but at the same time, we are kind of collapsing the timelines into that singularity that is a higher truth. So 12 carries the energy of one, of 2 and of 3 and of 12 itself. So there's this energy of completion, but also deep spiritual activation. So the 1 is new beginnings, leadership, really stepping into your power. It's this action, this masculine energy. And 2 kind of brings balance to that. It is intuition, it is harmony, it is balance, it is a more feminine energy. It is the harmonization of the I guess I did want to say forces, the energies that is coming through the 12 to birth the Holy Trinity, that is 3, that also represents creation. So yeah, it's really like, it's this partnership, it's this nurturing, this more sensitive nature coming through the 2 that balances out that action and power and forward momentum of the 1. And then it gives birth to this power of creation. So that's like the Holy Trinity, the Holy Child being birthed so that we can actualize what we are here to do so by balancing the masculine and feminine into a more whole and complete harmony. And then so there's like the sense of wholeness. I know that comes through 10, but I really see that coming through the 12 as well. And we've been in this, another distortion is the base 10, and we are ascending into the base 12 now, 1111, gateway into organic consciousness. The base 10 tree of life is distorted. We also have measurements of base 10, but actually 12 is more organic to our nature, to reality. And the base 12 tree of life is actually what allows us to access the higher realms. The base 10 will keep us in a frequency fence, a consciousness trap, keep us in the loops. This is what's happening, is the loops are clearing and ending, and we are now able to ascend up the spiral by clearing out all these false timelines and that false karma. So that's what I feel is happening at this time, is like we are upgrading our 12 strands of DNA. We are reconnecting with a base 12 tree of life, which I can get into in another video. We're connecting with the 12 dimensions, and now I'm seeing 1212 on the timer as I say the 12 dimensions. So there is a lot of deep spiritual essence that comes through this portal. Again, it's opening us to the winter solstice, which is the rebirth of the light, the rebirth of the sun, the birth of the sun, right? Through the immaculate conception of that divine light, through the womb space, to create that third perfect whole entity, the Holy Child. So this is a time of purification. This is a time of upgrade. This is a time of reclamation and restoration as well. So if you're feeling this, you might be feeling an awakening of your intuition, of your gifts, of activation of new soul contracts, perhaps. I guess that just came through. So there's a lot that can come through this portal, but it's also this time to remember that we're in the dark time of the year. So to allow yourself time and space to turn inward and to integrate, to rest, to nurture your mind, body, and soul, and to meditate, to feed yourself high vibe foods, even though this is a time of year where a lot of people are eating all the treats and all that, right? To just be mindful, to keep it in balance, especially if you are on this path, to really keep that body temple as clear and pure as possible. So we also have Mercury going direct in 3 days on the 15th, which is, in conjunction with the full moon. So there's a lot of energies that are happening simultaneously. We have 5 planets in retrograde. Mars is in retrograde. So it's a really good time to kind of clear out deeply held anger. And that deeply held anger can become deeply held resentment and bitterness, which eats away at you. And so that can manifest into physical disease. So this is really like a powerful time to upgrade your system and to clear it out and to really integrate what needs to be integrated, the shadow work, right? So that's what the dark time of the year is about. the shadow work, so that we can create space to anchor in these new keys, these new codes that are wanting to come through to upgrade our body and our consciousness. So there's a lot there. When I get on a roll, sometimes it flows. So yeah, allow yourself to sit in silence, to hydrate a lot. That's really important at this time. And to allow yourself to integrate these upgrades, write down, journal, do whatever you need to do. And also open up your heart to connect with this frequency of miracles and possibility, because that is what is coming. So this is a time to manifest if you choose to do that, but as a vessel of the divine, connecting with the higher truth that wants to move through you, allow that consciousness to be what guides your manifestations for the greater good of the all, we the people. If it's service to self, that's not in alignment with divine will, right? So what is in your highest good, your true highest soul good, will be in the highest good for all of humanity. So allow that essence to emerge and to blossom from within, so that you can anchor that in through your vessel, and then you can allow those miracles and that magic to unfold in your reality. So by becoming that vessel, it's like you become the holy grail of possibility and pure creation energy. So yeah, there's a lot there. I hope that all resonates and makes sense. I would love to hear how this season has been for you in the comments. What it is that you're feeling on this 12/12 portal day, and what it is you're feeling moving into winter solstice. I will be hosting a ceremony on the winter solstice to discuss more of this Holy Trinity energy and the mother energy that's been coming through. And the images that have come through so far have been really, really beautiful, really incredible and magical and powerful. So it does feel really potent, and I will link that below. There will be a replay if you can't join live. I know there's a lot going on this time of year. I was guided to host it on the Sunday rather than the Saturday, because sun is Christ consciousness, and winter solstice is a portal, just like summer solstice. It's a few days. So we'll be right in the heart of it, and in the womb space, if you will. So that is coming. And I also have my book, Let There Be Light. I don't have it right here, otherwise I would hold it up. But that's available on Amazon, Liberating the Heart of Humanity to Create Heaven on Earth. It will be available soon elsewhere, but for now, that's where it is. And yeah, I guess I feel complete for this transmission. I so appreciate the likes, subscribes, comments. It helps other people see the video, and it lets me know that you're resonating with this. So yeah, keep them coming. It's been, I'm working on growing this channel, and there's a lot of content that I intend to put out there connected to the journey of awakening and mastery, and awakening the master within. So, it's a real journey. Mastery is not a small thing. It is a tall order, and awakening is like the first step. And then to truly ascend, you've got to anchor everything in, and it requires self-mastery, soul mastery, and then spiritual ascended mastery. And there's a lot that goes into that. And it also gets to be fun and magical along the way. But this is for those who are, kind of like serious about the journey, and not just like the galactivations, which are all fun and lovely. But for me, it's so much deeper than that, and it's so much more profound and magical, because we have to anchor it into the physical vessel, right? The body temple. So there will be a lot more coming, and inside my school, I already have all the foundational material set out and laid out in a really specific way based on what I learned from my journey and what was missing, because I had a lot of that, like, gaps along the way when I was healing from cancer, and then walking onto this path of awakening and manifestation and law of attraction. Then I realized how much distortion and how much gaps there are in all of that, so that's what I've really been endeavoring to do, is to fill the gaps. So if this resonates, I so appreciate you for being here, and I'm sending you so much love, onward and upward in love and light, and I will see you soon.